Hi, good morning, Mark. Top local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver. Vancouver's best auto service experience, voted best in Vancouver for auto repair by their customers 17 times. Recently won the Georgia Straight again. How you doing, Bernie?
Doing very well.
So we're talking about a Volvo, a pretty popular car, an XC60. This is the 2009 that had some kind of rear differential problems. What was going on with this? How did you diagnose this vehicle?
Well, basically, the customer brought it to us with a humming noise coming from the back end of his vehicle, figuring it's probably the rear differential, and he was correct. We road tested the vehicle. We could hear a noise in the back. Did a hoist inspection. We have listening equipment, so we can listen to all the different areas in the rear end, the wheel bearings, the differential bearings, and whatever else is underneath the vehicle, and determined that the noise was coming from inside the differential.
So what's involved in repairing this?
Well, basically on the Volvo, we remove the rear differential assembly. So it's a whole rear end subframe assembly. Remove it from the vehicle, then take the differential off, dismantle it, and there's 4 bearings inside the differential. There's usually one bearing that causes the problem. It's the small bearing. It's the front bearing on the pinion shaft. For some reason, they seem to wear on this vehicle all the time. Don't know why. Obviously not a big enough bearing to handle a job, but that's the one that wears the most. We replace all the bearings. It's not a lot of extra money or time. While you have it apart, you may as well make sure you're covering everything. And also when they wear out, there's metal filings that get pumped through the system through the oil, so that causes wear on all the bearings. The gears themselves never wear, but the bearings do. I can share a photo here just so you can see what was going on inside this differential. This is the differential disassembled, and this is a view, that sort of brownish orangey colored stuff in the middle. That is some of the differential fluid. Tripping over my tongue here. That's some of the differential fluid that was left inside the case after we drained it out, and you can see a bunch of shiny bits near the bottom, especially in the right corner. That is all metal filings from the worn out bearing. So that's been running around inside the system and grinding in all the other bearings. So that's why it makes sense to change all the bearings at the same time. As I mentioned, the gears they're so hard, they don't seem to take any abuse from this kind of thing. So they last, but the bearings wear. This is a picture of the worn bearing.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. It's if you know anything about bearings, well, you can see some very rough spots. There's a roller. It's like a very smooth. Everything is really highly polished and smooth. Like you run a fingernail over this, it won't grab or gouge on anything. But if you can see, chunks of this race are missing. And this is the inner bearing race. Funny, you look at the outer bearing race, it actually looks fine. And so I cut the bearing apart, and that's what we find. And we do a lot of these repairs, so we find this every single time.
So 2009 doesn't seem that old. Is this a common problem on these cars?
Extremely common. And the interesting thing is that this vehicle is also the same as a Land Rover LR2. I mean, it doesn't look the same, but the drivetrain, the engine, transmissions, the rear end, it's exactly the same thing. So we replace these a lot on Land Rover LR2s as well.
So where do you get parts to do these kind of services?
Well, this is the interesting thing. So bearings we can buy from a lot of our aftermarket part suppliers. Their bearings are numbered. We've got the numbers off the bearings, and we can get those. Seals are available from Volvo or Land Rover. I'm just going to divert to both makes here because it applies to both. But the bearings, interestingly enough, are not sold by Volvo. You can only buy those, or bearings, there's crush sleeves, there's various parts we need to do this repair. You can only buy those through Land Rover. So some of the parts we buy from Land Rover, some parts we buy from aftermarket suppliers. And so here's the interesting thing. If you were to take this vehicle to a Volvo dealer, the only thing they're going to do for you is replace the complete rear differential assembly. Would you like to know the price?
Yeah. Well, that sounds expensive.
$4,900 for the differential assembly. So just
How
so
much?
$4,900 for a complete differential assembly.
Plus labor to put it in.
To install. And it's a fair bit of work on one of these Volvos to take the differential out. So I mean, I haven't seen a Volvo bill, but I'm going to speculate it's probably in the $5,000 to $6,000 range by the time the labor's there and the taxes are applied to the job. Interestingly enough, if you go to Land Rover, they do actually have a technical service bulletin. They'll do the job by actually repairing the differential. So it's strange that one dealer would do it one way and one the other way, but that's just how they're set up.
So can you save a Volvo owner quite a bit of money when you're just changing the parts out rather than redoing the whole, swapping out the whole rear end?
Yeah, it's huge. It's I think I'm just about, it's like $1,400–1,500 taxes included to do the whole job. So that's a lot. That's a third of the price of just the differential assembly from Volvo.
So I know for a lot of people that they only will take their car to the dealer. They only can kind of the only concept they have is that, you know, they're the best guys to service the car. So is that true in every case?
Well, I'd say not. And I mean, I don't like to slam other businesses, but, you know, as an independent repair shop, we like to do things the most economical way for our customers. So whether that's, you know, we'll take the time to find, you know, we've done a lot of repairs in Volvos where they'll only sell a complete assembly. This is just an example. You know, we look at it and go, well, we can buy these bearings from this place or that. And these are the kind of creative things we do to save our customers money. You won't get that at the dealer. They're more interested in just, let's get the car in and out as quick as possible. Let's get the job done. And, you know, without regards to cost or seeking other options. I mean, I can think of a lot of other examples I've seen over time. I mean, for an average service on your vehicle, yeah, the dealer's probably pretty good. Although one interesting thing that we do notice, we get a lot of new customers, we go to do an oil change and we find their air filters are just hideously dirty. And you know, we ask, well, where'd you have the car service before? At the dealer. It's like the technicians, because this is my speculation, because they're paid flat rate, they want to get the job in and out as fast as they can. The more cars they can do, the more money they make. Fair enough. But they're missing things, like they don't inspect air filters unless it's incredibly easy. And you know, there's no money in them, you know, for them, whether they sell another part or not. They don't get paid anymore, so they don't bother. So the customer really doesn't get the best service at the dealer. But it looks like a great place. And I'm not saying that there are some dealers that are very good, but you know, it's hit and miss.
It's like life.
Right.
So what about, how are these Volvos overall for reliability, the XC60?
Yeah, they're good cars. I mean, this is one sort of flaw with them, but so far we don't see a lot for any other problems. So, you know, this is, again, one sort of thing you can expect. It seems like every vehicle, almost every vehicle has something that's going to go wrong with it, unless, you know, well, even Toyotas, we can pick a few things out, although they're highly reliable. But in most cars, there's going to be some deficiency. This seems to be the one on these cars. Other than that, they're pretty good.
So if you're looking for service for your Volvo or Land Rover LR2, your Volvo XC60, or any other kind of Volvo, the guys to see in Vancouver are Pawlik Automotive. You can book your appointment at 604-327-7112 or check out their website. We can have other website builders and SEOs telling us how good the website is. So check it out. Tons of information on there. PawlikAutomotive.com. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark.